The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 25th day of November, 2024. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. Folks, I have a joke for you this morning. I'm not calling any names, right? Not calling any names. But somebody, I think they thought that American Thanksgiving was today. I ain't calling no names, right? But I think somebody thought that today was American Thanksgiving. I had a good chuckle to myself this weekend. I was like, you know what? That's better than any of my jokes of the days. And I'm funny. If you tune into me. But I ain't going to tell you who that person is. I'll let them out themselves. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Everyone have a great weekend. We've got David Michael Wilson. He says it's a marvelous Monday. Make it a good one. And Suzanne Ingham says a marvelous and awesome Monday, Jamel and Maya. A joke? Well, you know what? Maya's not going to like this, right? But folks, every day from now until the final show of the year, I'm going to give you a joke. I'm going to give you a joke. Yeah, I'm going to give you a joke. It's joke time. And I'm going to give you some holiday jokes. So, Suzanne, you get your wish. I'm going to give you a joke today because you deserve it. You deserve it. And a happy Monday to you as well, Michelle White. Happy Monday. So look, we've got a conversation here. So greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Ryan Robinson-Perinchief on. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the Bermuda Credit Union. So we're going to be discussing the role of the credit union in Bermuda. With all that's going on with Clarion, I'm probably sure you all are looking for alternatives. So I'm looking forward to it because being in the U.S. for my life, you see smaller local banks and credit unions. And Bermuda doesn't really have a local bank anymore in terms of like Bank of Bermuda is HSBC's not local. Clarion kind of foreign. I did read something that this summer someone was supposed to be purchasing shares. It's so much to it. But I think in the U.S., a lot of people, especially in smaller towns, look toward local banks. So this is going to be an interesting conversation for us to learn a bit more about how the credit union benefits us in Bermuda. The Daily Play is holiday trivia. So today, until the end of the year, we'll be doing holiday trivia. Yeah, like we always do. So, man, y'all, I think you all would do fine. I think you'll do fine. You know something about the holidays. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. Without further ado, Michelle White says, Clarion, you just spoiled my Monday. Well, you know what? Last week, there were quite a few people on social media, and they were pretty upset that no local media in Bermuda seemed to be touching on the Clarion situation. And the Royal Gazette, in fairness, did put out a couple stories, I believe. One was about, Clarion concedes teething issues after pensions disarray. And for those who don't know, basically Clarion Bank switched to a new e-banking system. And when businesses switch to new systems, they're hoping that it's an upgrade and improves customer experience and drives revenue. That's the overall goal. It improves revenue, but sometimes it's not without hiccups, right? Sometimes it's not without issues, and it seems like this has been a huge issue. And I think this should be an eye opener for everyone. You ask yourself, if this happened in a bigger country, a larger scale, let's say Bank of America or Chase, or what they use, Scotia Bank in Canada, I think that's one. What do you think? Like, what are your thoughts on this kind of stuff? What are your thoughts on this banking situation? What can we learn from the Clarion Bank issues? Because if it happened on a larger scale, I'm pretty sure there might be, I don't want to say it, but could be lawsuits, right? So what can we learn from the Clarion Bank issues? What are your thoughts on it? What can we learn from it? And just a yes or no question. You don't have to tell me; it's none of my business. But we're having a community conversation. But were you impacted by the Clarion Bank's switch to a new system? Were you impacted? Let us know. Were you impacted by Clarion Bank's switch to a new system? Like, how did it impact you? If you were, but yes or no, were you impacted by Clarion Bank's their upgrade? Michelle White says, not teething issues, all gums. Don't get me started. Someone didn't do their job. Okay. Michelle White goes on to say, if it happened on your job, your head would roll. Okay. Manuela John says, I still haven't been able to access the new Clarion app since I'm off the island. So I do have an account tied to a business account at Clarion, and when that date came, was it November 12th, I think, or something like that? I think that was the date it was originally planned to move. I'm going to be honest with you. It was on me, human error, that I hadn't been reading their emails. Now, I'm not saying that's everyone else's issue. I know mine was I just hadn't been reading the emails. So I was automatically in panic mode because I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? Again, not taking it away from anyone because I don't use Clarion for my regular banking. Once I downloaded the app, I was able to access my account easily and just see what I needed to see. Again, that's me. However, those I share the account with were not able to do what they needed to do with the account. So I've had clients who are pretty upset with it, and they're like I don't know how to. I'm not an IT guy. I'm not a banker. All I do know is that this should be an eye opener. I don't know if government steps in with regulation to ensure that this doesn't happen. There have been people who've said they've got missing money, haven't been paid, and they're like, I actually sympathize with the customer service people in companies when this happens. It's like the airline, right? Your flight's delayed, right? Or you have a visa problem at the gate. It's not really the person on the grounds, like in the customer service person's issue all the time. And I think I feel for them. I sympathize with them. And for me, if I was in that situation and I knew there was another job opportunity elsewhere, I'm out. I'm out. Because this is not the thing that you want to deal with, and it's not your fault. It's not their fault. All right. Again, what can we learn from the Clarion Bank issues, folks? What are the lessons in this? Is the lesson that maybe we need to focus more on smaller local banks? Is it that government should intervene and ensure that steps are taken when changing systems to ensure that clients and customers are not impacted? Because I think what I want people to understand is we have a tendency with everything in small community Bermuda to make noise when something impacts us and then go on with our daily lives. We do it whether it's road fatalities, violence in our community, something like this. Like we tend to make noise, and then once is done until the next time it happens. And how do we ensure something like this doesn't happen to the people who are customers at other local banks in Bermuda? Like, where do we fix this? What is the issue? How do we attack it? How do we tackle this? Michelle White says, when I send money to you, you would see your name, not my company name. This is the trouble for companies that receive many payments. Imagine if you receive payments and don't know who sent it to you. Yeah, that just means more work on your end because you have to go back through your invoices or, you know, and see, okay, this number, if they're including the number or if it's the same, it's confusing. I get it. Shanna Smith says, not impacted directly, but my coworker was locked out of her account while traveling 2 weeks ago, still having issues. I could imagine. I was in Kenya. I could imagine if I had Clarion and needed to access my account, right? I would have been in trouble. Shanna Smith goes on to say, I don't know about government intervening. They can't even get their own systems together. Okay. Manuela John says, you couldn't even try it before the official date. You only have 3 minutes to use the code. After you were issued a few codes, you were locked out. Not easy to call at the station. Well, I know quite a few people. Here's another thing that we never talk about enough. We never talk about this enough. I've had quite a few people who have called Clarion and been on the phone for 25, 48 minutes, an hour. Folks, I don't know about you. And I understand business, and businesses love to push their customer service into, places like India and, on the other side of the world. That's fine. I think there needs to be legislation. There has to be legislation. And I know the premier mentioned something in their own speech about banking. I don't remember exactly what it is, and I'm not going to misquote. But I think do you agree with me? Yes or no? There needs to be some sort of legislation that when someone is calling customer service, they should not be on hold for longer than 5 to 10 minutes. That would make companies get their act together. I'm all for free running business, free whatever. But I do not believe that if Suzanne Ingham or Manuela Jordan or Shanna Smith or Michelle White, Mark Arthur C. Phillips, if you have an issue, you should be on hold for longer than 5 minutes. Because for me, it's you're telling the customer you don't value their time. There needs to be some. I agree. No legislation is customer service. I agree with you. But at the end of the day, if you only have few choices, they can do what they want. They don't care about customer service if they know you're not going to go anywhere else, if they know that it's going to be difficult to go somewhere else, right? We might need some sort of legislation. All right, let's go back to the audience. Suzanne Ingham says they need to get their act together. I don't have Clarion, but a friend was, and she was livid. This should not be happening. All these updates are causing issues, which can lead to serious issues. And to think I was considering that bank. Okay. All right. So even people who were not directly impacted are pretty upset. Nicole Walker says, good morning. I waited until last week to register and it was seamless. Doing it on a PC or tablet makes it easier for phone setup. I'll be transferring to Clarion today. So fingers crossed. Nicole, it's interesting because as I stated earlier, my experience was like yours. It was seamless. I did it very easily. But again, all I had to do was register and then access my account. And I did it that one time and it was easy. I'm hoping for the best for you today with the transferring to Clarion because I heard that's where the issues are coming. But me signing in, it was all good. But I also heard that people haven't seen their money. Right? Look, Michelle White says, lesson, they failed in communicating with clients once issues arose. If you received an email, it was repeatedly the same message, telephone not answered, no message on the phone, no updates. Unfortunate. Shamari Tolbert Woolrich says, if you have a high volume of calls, I understand being put on hold, even though it's frustrating. I mean, indeed. I mean, and yes, but if you knew this transition would likely equate to this, then you probably should have hired additional people to help and trained them over a period of time. I don't know. Suzanne Ingham says, 5 to 10 minutes on hold. It should be 3 to 5 minutes, no longer. Okay, you're taking it even closer. My apologies. I was just saying that those folks who were saying like 25, 48 minutes, that's not cool. You have to value the time of your clients. Manuela John says, my 70-year-old brain couldn't get it together. I even checked to find out if they use WhatsApp. No, long-distance calls are not cheap. I feel for you all. I do. Teray Toll says, or be on the phone with people in 7 different countries, almost cried on the phone with Chase. It's not right. Look, folks, you know me, I don't like government getting involved, but if we pretty much are forced to bank these days to avoid money laundering and the like. The least they can do if we have to bank to ensure that our money is legit is to ensure that we can get if someone can remind me of what the Premier David Brett said about banking in the throne speech, that'll be helpful, because I'm pretty sure it was along the lines of making sure everyone gets service. I don't remember exactly what, and I don't want to misquote him, but I think we should write the Premier and say, add this in there. This is a part of customer service. Michelle White says, I have spoken to many people who have or who will be moving their money, as I have. Hey, possibly a credit union if you're eligible. Shamari Talbot Orich says, but I am one of the few without issues. Well, I didn't have them either. But again, see, it's again, and I preface that because I sympathize with the people who had issues. It's not about me. I feel for people. Like something like this should not be. The point is, there shouldn't be any issues. There's always going to be, but they should be minimal. Charles H. Jefferson II says, I didn't know it was coming. I unsuccessfully tried once. I'll visit them upon my return. One thing is, if any customer incurs a charge due to this upgrade, those charges should be covered by them. Absolutely, Charles. Nicole Walker says, doing it on a long holiday weekend during Christmas season was a poor business decision and seemingly also a rush one. Yeah, the timing could have been better. Could they not have waited till like January? Or maybe they wanted to get it done before the holidays when people usually spend more. Maybe they could have done it sooner. I don't know, but that's a very good point, Nicole. Teray Toast says, oh, this is about Clarion. I absolutely don't think that they navigate. It's just hilarious. yes, Clarion. But I think general banking, though, Teray, general banking, I think this is a bigger conversation, right? So no, I think it's a bigger conversation than Clarion, and I think we need to ensure that this does not happen with other banks. That's the point. It should not happen. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, he says, good morning. I had to call twice. Both calls were over 50 minutes, but I got my account sorted out. Shout out to Jalen. All right. Big up Jalen at Clarion Bank. Michelle White says, this has been going on since November 12th. 2 business weeks have passed. Unacceptable. I have money hanging in cyberspace. Not have to get it, but now I'll have to get it back, I believe she means. I had worked back up because I couldn't do transfers. I feel for you, Michelle. I do. And Shamari Talbot Word says, I believe the Premier was talking about ensuring that people who may have been in prison and whatnot are barred from owning a bank. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Shamari Talbot Word. Appreciate that. All right, let's bring Maya Palacio in for Daily Hour News Break. Thank you. Maya actually presented. She says, firstly, we will address inequalities in Bermuda's banking sector where many residents face barriers to basic banking services under amendments to the Banks and Deposits Companies Act. Banks will be required to provide basic banking services to all residents. This government is committed to ensuring that Bermudians' hard-earned money stays with them, so we will introduce regulations to cap fees paid to pension administrators. Thank you so much to the MP. We appreciate you. Let's bring Maya in for the Daily Hour News Break, folks. Again, hot topic and conversation. What I want people to do. We can't afford to let this go by. We can't afford to say, you know what, it happened. Once it's sorted, everything's good. No, because if you understand one thing about tech companies, bankers, insurance, any big company, they will have more upgrades. They will change systems because they're always looking at what can they do to make business more seamless, to generate as much revenue as possible. We have to get a grip on this. I would love to know if the government actually has a take on this as well. Let's bring Maya Palacio in for Daily Hour News Break. We've got the Chief Executive Officer of the Bermuda Credit Union, maybe an alternative to traditional banking, coming up, Ryan Robinson-Perinchief. Stick with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, MP. Happy Monday to you. How are you?
Yeah, happy Monday to you too. I see you got a little bit of wet coming through. That's new.
I did change the bulbs last evening. Yes, I did change the bulb. We've got a little red. Yes. I just thought, isn't red like a holiday color?
Yeah, it's definitely seasonal.
So what else? Is it like red, green? What else? Green, right?
Yes. Wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna get green. So I'm gonna replace the purple with green. How's that? Trying to be faster. I'm trying.
Okay, go ahead. I mean, it's a little early, but
Maya, I'm gonna talk about her. Say that again. Say what you just said.
I feel like it's a little early for your backdrop. I'm saying it's not early to celebrate, but like
What? You just switched.
you want red and green. You want green on your face for almost 2 months.
Well, this is true. No, my baby sister, she decorated her place for Christmas, and my older sister was like, really? Like it's early. And my older sister's like, she ain't gonna start decorating to like middle of December. I'm like, well, the holiday is over at that point. So like if you decorate, like when is the right time to decorate? Like when's the right time to get stuff up?
Immediately after Halloween, I'm fine with that.
Okay, after Halloween. All right, cool. You just love art. So to you, it's like just decorating. It's not even probably about the holiday, in it.
I mean, do what you want to
do. Okay. So how was your weekend?
It was a pretty good weekend, must admit. Yeah, rested up. Feel pretty energetic today. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot about this morning's discussion.
I feel like I need to stay neutral in this position, knowing that it is also a bank of mine, and I'm your journalist.
Well, I need to ask you a question about it.
Go ahead, ask the question.
You ain't got to answer. Do you think that there should be across the board, not just banking, do you think there should be legislation that says your customers should not be on hold longer than, well, Suzanne said 3 to 5 minutes. I said 5 to 10. But do you think it should be legislated?
That's something I need to give a little bit more thought onto, because thinking if you do implement that, right? I'm like, okay, on one hand, then you'll need more workers to actually be working there to accommodate for that law, that legislation. So that means, okay, great, more people are going to have to go into the sector because they're going to need it. But on the other hand, it's like, is that realistic? You know, yeah, 5 to 10 minutes. Like, would we even see that number, like the influx of people actually calling in? Mainly because obviously a lot of people are right now because it's really only for like dire situations. So maybe if it was something a little bit more guided or a little bit more rules inside of it, saying like when you're maybe doing some big change that can, impact a lot of people having to call in. Sure, like that's when you probably want to, you probably would need to like put something there. But like, I mean, personally, I think it's also person to person, customer to customer, because I've been on hold for hours and hours before, especially with airlines. But like, again, I'm in a position where I could just like, hey, leave it there and go about my day of business until I hear them actually pick up. So again, person to person, customer to customer.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
Right.
Oh, I've got a joke for you at the end of your news, okay?
Good morning, everyone. This is your Daily Hour News brought to you by the great people at People's Pharmacy. We talked about this a couple months back, but just bringing it back to your attention because it was mentioned again last week. So public access to information, or PETI, will soon not be as accessible as it currently is, as the government plans to add a fee for the request. So speaking lightly about this bill was the Honorable Crystal Caesar about a week ago. Let's listen in.
PETI forms are part of a robust information rights framework that creates transparency and accountability. Mr. Speaker, this bill includes the introduction of reasonable charges, which places limits on the time spent by public authorities in responding to requests, and provides for payment for requests where processing by the public authority exceeds this.
Maya, I thought that had died.
You mean the conversation about it happening?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That was really caught up in the throne speech, and there it is again.
Yeah, because when he mentioned it, was it in the budget or throne speech last year?
Oh, I think it was in the budget, because I remember it also had to do with I can't remember the name of. Anyways, go on. Yeah.
I thought it was dead. I mean, has the public changed its tune towards it? Like, are we okay with it being charged? Because I do understand that it does, take resources to do the research, but I'm like, I thought that was part of it.
Well, you'll recall that when the Premier did mention it, and this is around the time that he was talking about that $300,000 PETI request, that it cost that much to actually get this question. And I have been asking, okay, what was the question? Never did get a response. So I'm going to follow up again on my PETI request that I actually sent out for that to be answered. So we're still in that mix. But again, like everything, news happens, things appear, things drop off. So bringing it back to your attention, as it was something that was mentioned last week.
Doing the work of the people, she is. I tell you, doing the work of the people, folks.
Well, in other news, and again, something that we talked about last week and we thought it might happen, there are now 2 confirmed cases of measles in Bermuda. The Ministry of Health has confirmed that the second suspected case, which was under investigation, is now confirmed. A government spokesperson said identified close contacts are being notified of this case update and all necessary precautions are being implemented. Now, as a reminder, measles symptoms initially include fever, fatigue, cough, muddy nose, sore, red eyes, and a rash that starts on the face and spreads. If you suspect measles or have been exposed, contact your healthcare provider promptly. Now, they also want to protect against measles, ensure that you and your family are up to date in the measles, mumps, and rubella MMR vaccine. Now, children should receive doses 12 to 15 months and again for 4 to 6 years. Adults born after 1957 who lack immunity should verify they've had 2 MMR doses at least 4 weeks apart. Vaccines are available at local GP offices or the Hamilton Health Center as well. Minister Kim Wilson just went on to emphasize the importance of vaccination to protect against this highly contagious disease, which can cause severe complications like pneumonia and brain swelling.
Oh, no, that's not good.
No, it's not. Like Grace said, we hadn't had a case since like the 1990s, and now we have 2.
Oh, my. It's such a hot conversation, though, Maya. Like, I obviously don't want to get into it, but I just remember around COVID, there was so much about vaccines and the like. So I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I wonder if, that's playing a role in those who may be impacted by it. I don't know.
You did mention that last week, and it's definitely something to consider and think about. Well, in other news coming from the Bermuda Police Service, investigations continue into the firearm incident which occurred in the area of Cedar Heights Lane in Warwick around 9:10 p.m. on Thursday, November the 21st. Now, the community will recall that 2 men, a 53-year-old and a 38-year-old, both sustained multiple gunshot wounds in the incident and remain in the hospital where they continue to receive treatments for the injuries, which are not considered life-threatening. It is understood, though, that immediately after the shooting, 2 persons dressed in dark clothing were seen on motorcycles speeding in an easterly direction along Harbor Road. And investigations are particularly interested in speaking with anyone who may have seen the individuals fitting the description in the area of Cedar Hill, St. Mary's Road, Warwick, and Harbor Road shortly after or before the shooting.
I'm just happy that, no one was seriously hurt, it seems like. But again, why?
It's a question we've just been asking forever, and we know what the minister, as I spoke on here, national security has actually implemented as well in terms of trying to, combat against anti-violence, these social behaviors that have been escalating throughout the years. So it's a community issue. It's not so isolated, but we do need to treat it a lot more serious than we currently are. And leading up to some kind of happy news, more historic news, and I love to bring a little bit of sports element into the picture, especially when it's our women doing really well. But 17 Bermudian gymnasts will compete in the first ever gymnastics Carifta Games in Jamaica later this month. A spokesperson said 17 gymnasts from around the island will make history by competing in Kingston, Jamaica for the very first time Carifta has had gymnastics included in the lineup. So gymnastics from gymnasts from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, Bahamas, Aruba, and Bermuda will vie for the top finish on November the 29th and the 30th. So congrats to them, because when they come back, they'll be history makers.
Nice. Good stuff. Congratulations. Did you ever do gymnastics, Maya?
Mm-mm.
She said, I'm sorry for asking. You were athletic. I just figured you might have, tried your hand at it.
I was the athletic that more of a contact sport.
Okay, all right.
Athlete.
She's not on a beam, folks. Nope.
No, ma'am. My sister Farrah, though, she did it.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good at it too. All right. And today for our weather, we got plenty of sunshine, it's saying, but we got some moderate to strong winds as well. We've got a high of 74. So hopefully no rain out there and hopefully less clouds.
Yes. Thank you for that, man. Real quickly, before we get into Daisy Ears and our funny joke, just wanted to give a big shout out to Leilani Nesbitt, who completed her first season with the Chicago Red Stars. They went out in the playoffs. And then also Connor Smith, who done the unthinkable. First team in history to go to the final. They unfortunately lost in the finals, the USL Championship 3-0, I believe, to Colorado on Saturday. But two Bermudians who have literally doing things that have not been done by Bermudians before. That is huge. It's something to look up to. And I just want to let them know that we are happy, we're proud to be aligned and be Bermudian because of what they're out there achieving. And I want any young person out there to understand that people like us can achieve great things. So give that shout out. Real quickly, days of the year. I think Maya will like this one. And it's interesting. It's National Brand Day, right, in the US. So National Brand Day celebrated every fourth Monday of November. It honors the dedication and hard work of brand builders. So the history of it, it was only started in 2020 by Brand Camp USA. And how to celebrate it, boost your social media buzz, right? Throw a brand theme bash, dive into brand history, support the underdogs. I like that one, and educate and share. So audience, what is your favorite Bermuda brand? Your favorite Bermuda brand. What is your favorite Bermuda brand? Maya, you're thinking, what's your favorite Bermuda brand?
Don't do this to me. That's hard. I don't know. I can't think off the head. Okay. I'm sorry. There's just too many, and I can't think of. I can't just say one. It's just
okay. You know what one of my favorite Bermuda brands is?
Go ahead.
Medium Maya. 10 points. 10 points. I'm serious though. Maya, am I not like, Maya, don't forget about your brand. Maya, like I think your brand is extremely important. I think your brand changed the game. I think that you got young people interested in news. I mean, you took a risk. You could have been working for any medium in Bermuda, and you said, no, let me go do my own thing. It's one of my favorite brands. I'm not lying.
All right, thank you. Big up to you for saying that. I'm gonna actually go with Bermuda Youth Connect then.
Aha.
I will go with Youth Connect.
There you go.
When they came through and like really try to fight for that debate that we all wanted from the politicians, and now we're like on this momentum of like, oh, it's gonna happen because it's gonna happen because I really feel like it's gonna be pushed by the younger generation.
I'm glad you said that because I don't think we appreciate what they did. Like people have been asking for, a debate for years, and although they didn't call it that, it was close enough. And to get that, to make it happen outside the PLP candidate was awesome. So yeah, audience, you don't have a favorite local brand? Like, come on, do better. Let's do better. I know it's not Clarion. You ain't got. I mean, gee, I said that, not Maya. All right, I have a joke.
Go ahead.
All right.
Please let it be funny.
Isn't it always? All right, here we go. Here's your joke of the day. How is hold on, sorry. It's not even that funny, honestly.
We got a guest, Joel.
All right, yes, we have a very important guest. How is a turkey like Santa Claus?
How is a turkey like Santa Claus? I don't know, they both gobble something?
They both get stuffed for Thanksgiving. They did, like stuff the turkey. Santa eats. Yeah.
How do we know that Santa eats during Thanksgiving? That's never been in a story.
My goodness, always gotta be so logical. It's comedy. Thank you, Suzanne Ingham. Maya, I'll see you.
Anyone could get okay.
Have a wonderful day. Funny. She just killed my joke. Folks, we're taking a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 1 minute, 58 seconds with Ryan Robinson-Perinchief. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses. Whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment, we provide 100% guarantee on approved loans. Simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Nova's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. We got quite a few people telling us their favorite brands, local brands. David Michael Wilson said, off the top of my head, BCG. Suzanne Ingham said Medical Radio, Media Maya. Charles H. Jefferson II, he said, Bermuda is loved for their genuine efforts to make Bermuda better. Rosalind Famous said Stevens Beef Pie, Scooter Mart, Mailboxes. Ashley's Lemonade, she says as well. Polly Rich says Barrett's Ginger Beer, Scooter Mart. Yeah, Nicole Walker says Maya is a real vibe killer. Yeah, tough crowd in here. Tough crowd. Yeah. Without further ado, let's bring our guest for the day. We've got the Chief Executive Officer of the Bermuda Credit Union, Ryan Robinson-Perinchief. Let's give him a warm TDH welcome. Greetings, sir. Greetings.
Thank you for that.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jamal? Good morning, everyone.
Well, I'm okay. I mean, I was trying to get people going with a little Monday joke, and my partner didn't really appreciate it this morning.
Yeah,
man.
sorry, I'm with Maya on that one. Maybe it's generational. I don't know.
I was gonna say that you guys are pretty much the same age. Maybe it's that old folk thing. Yeah. Those going 40s. But Ryan, thank you.
I wasn't calling you old. I just said it might be generational.
I said it. Teo says it enough. He reminds me. Yeah. But no, thank you for doing this. I appreciate you making time for us. And before we jump into it, I've got to ask you the question I just asked the audience. What is one of your favorite local brands?
Oh, I was stuck on that one, but a couple come to mind. But I'm gonna go with Mr. Chicken. That's one.
Okay. Okay.
I like family-owned business that's sort of growing from strength to strength,
Okay.
and maybe it's because I just came from the BDC Awards on Saturday night. But long story short, Kristen White. I like her brand.
Okay.
I like what she does.
All right. Cool. Mr. Chicken and long story short. All right. So we know what Ryan's got. Well, let's jump into today's conversation, Ryan. First off, congratulations on your new position with the Bermuda Credit Union. But tell the audience a bit about your background and what it is that you actually do.
Okay, sure. So in terms of my background, born and raised in Bermuda, I went to Bermuda Institute, graduated from the Barclay Institute. Then I did a year in Brazil with Rotary Exchange. Went off to school to study law at Durham in England, and then did a master's in public policy at Oxford as a Rhodes Scholar. Came back to Bermuda. I worked at the Cabinet Office in Economic Recovery and Development for a bit, and then transitioned to policy advisor at the Ministry of Finance headquarters before going to Conyers and doing my law pupillage, and then transitioned over to Bermuda Credit Union. I had been on the credit union board for 2 years. I was the vice president on the board, and then transitioned into full-time management at the beginning of this year, so January, and then took over as CEO in March.
Indeed. And once again, congratulations to you. Banking has been a hot topic in Bermuda over the last 2 weeks. And for years, I think especially after the George Floyd situation in 2020, when people were talking about boycotting, one of the things that people were talking about boycotting was big banks. But a lot of people didn't understand credit unions, like what they were. Just explain, what is a credit union and how does it differ from a traditional big bank?
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people mix this up and they think credit union, they hear credit association, and they think we're coming to chase after them for debt and things like that, right? But the credit union is actually it's a global movement. We just happen to be the only credit union in Bermuda. And the general idea is when you go to a bank, you're a customer of the bank, and a bank is owned by a smaller group of shareholders, right, who make a profit from the bank. So it could be another company that owns a bank, it could be a few individuals. But when you talk about a bank, you're talking about a business where a few people own it and they make a profit off of the customers who use it, right? Whether that's through fees or interest or whatever. At a credit union, the general idea and the reason that it's called a union is it's a cooperative institution. So rather than a private limited company or a public company or even a charity, a cooperative is an institution where the members or the users of the organization come together and they own and control it together. So a credit union provides the same or similar financial services that a bank will provide, savings, loans. We also have insurance products. But the difference is that at a credit union, you're not a customer, you're a member. So everybody who has an account at the credit union is a part owner. In order to become a member or an account holder at the credit union, you have to buy a share or equity to represent your ownership. And with that share, you have equal rights to the profits and the governance of the organization. So everyone who is a member of a credit union is also a shareholder in that sense. It's owned equally by everyone. And so when we have, for example, our annual general meetings, just like how a bank, their shareholders will meet and decide on the direction of the company. When we have our AGMs, all of the members are open to attend and everybody gets one equal vote. And they will elect the board of directors, they will elect the other supervisory and credit committees. And then that board of directors will then, hire me and professional staff to actually manage the business on a day-to-day. But long story short is everybody at a credit union is a member and a part owner and also a customer.
Okay. Audience, if you have any questions for Ryan, please send them through. To me, this is probably one of the most important conversations we're going to have about banking and business in Bermuda in 2024. I appreciate everything you just said, but there were still people who will sit there and be like, I still don't get it. So why is a credit union necessary in a community like Bermuda?
So maybe I'll go back a little bit to the history of credit unions, right? So credit unions were originally called people's banks. So in the modern era, they started out of Europe where, for example, farmers or the common people couldn't get access to financial services. So, if you're trying to grow crops for your farm and, you can't borrow enough money from a traditional financial institution in order to get your head start, what would happen is these people would come together and they would borrow and save amongst each other. So that is sort of the concept of a cooperative, right? Now, this tradition really goes back thousands of years. If you think about in Western Africa and other places around the world, the concept of club hand or susu, the general idea is people are coming together and they're respecting and joining in community with each other to get their needs met, right? So they're borrowing and saving from each other. Now, fast forward, it's a credit union where essentially we're going to start our own banking or financial institution. We're all going to chip in. We're going to all save in one place. We'll also borrow from each other. And we have control over the organization. So if you don't quite get the concept, just understand that the type of business that we are is one where everybody who uses the products and services of the credit union also take an equal responsibility in its ownership and its governance. But on the front facing side, when you come into the front, it's just like, being a member or a customer of a bank in the sense that we provide the same services. The difference is just the leadership and the ownership and responsibility is on all of us equally.
All righty. Audience, I know you have questions. They're coming through. I'll get to your questions. And if you have any questions or comments for Ryan, I'll get to them in a bit. So I will get to you. All right. I just want to give a shout out to, I think it's Sahima NC. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member today. We appreciate you. You too can become a YouTube member. Just hit the join button. You mentioned membership. I like that. But who can become a member of the credit union?
So for those who may not be familiar with Bermuda Credit Union, you may know it as the BRU Members Credit Union. And that's because when it was founded over 50 years ago, it was originally open to members of the Bermuda Industrial Union and their families. But it has since expanded. So in 2017, a decision was made to open the credit union up to other unions as well. And then as recently as 2023, so just under a year ago at our last annual general meeting, the membership voted to say, we want this institution to open up to all of Bermuda. So to answer your question, Jamal, as of just under a year ago, the credit union is officially open in terms of its common bond of membership. Anybody that's living or working in Bermuda can become a member of the credit union. And so that is also reflective of why the name is now the Bermuda Credit Union Co-op Society and not the BRU Members Credit Union, because the members decided we want all of Bermuda to be able to participate in this financial institution that is owned and controlled by, everyday Bermudians.
Okay. Thank you for that. I think you just ruled me out. Living and working in Bermuda. I mean, you live between.
Well, you're still a Bermudian, right? So, your home and your base is still here, right? So
correct.
Provided you're able to meet all of the KYC and all of that, there's no issue, right? You have people that will become a member and then they'll move away for a few years, or, they may go back and forth. It doesn't rule you out.
Yeah. I mean, it rules me out of being able to vote, but hopefully not banking. Let's go a bit more into the benefits, because I think that's the biggest thing we need to highlight about the credit union is what are some of the key benefits versus traditional banking. You heard me mention earlier, which it was just an idea, not something that probably will ever happen, but customer service, right, is very important to people. Many Bermudians you'll see complaining regularly about getting, calling customer service and not getting a Bermudian sometimes getting someone, but taking 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Is that a benefit? Like, what are some key benefits to joining the credit union versus a traditional bank?
Yeah. Well, I think customer service in Bermuda is going to be a challenge anywhere you go, because as you know, Jamal, the cost of doing business in Bermuda is very high, right? So when you talk about paying staff, when you talk about the resources needed to run an operation, it's a constant balance between giving value to your customers, but also making sure that, you're able to be profitable, right? In terms of the credit union, I guess we can go into a little bit of the products and services, right? So we offer savings products. So we have your regular savings account. Now at a credit union, we call it a shares account because you all have a share in the credit union. And normally, if the credit union turns a surplus, the members at the annual general meeting can vote to issue dividends, right? Because you're a shareholder. So as a member of the credit union, you're eligible for dividends if the credit union decides to issue dividends. Even if we don't, we still have a regular savings account that bears interest, just like what you would get at another bank. We don't have any fees for our accounts. So I know a lot of people might complain that the interest they're getting at other institutions is completely wiped out by the time they pay their monthly fees and, the maintenance and compliance fees and all the rest. So we have no fee accounts. And then in terms of loans, we also offer a variety of different loan products. And a lot of people like our loans because we have a fixed interest rate. So you don't have to worry about your payments unexpectedly going up if there's a change in the economy, for example. Whatever you sign up for to pay each month is what you're going to pay throughout the duration of the loan. There are no penalties for early repayment. And in addition, we have, because of the ethos and the mantra of our credit union is encouraging and empowering the members, we also have a mandatory requirement for each monthly loan repayment, part of it to go towards your savings. So if you ask somebody that is a member of the credit union that has borrowed from us before, one thing they'll probably say is, I like that I can save while I borrow. And by the time I finish paying back my loan, I'm going to have more savings than what I started with, because we make sure that with each payment, part of it comes back to you. So there's some of the benefits. We also offer insurance products. We have a small death benefit program where if you pay a monthly premium, you can cover up to 6 family members, where if something happens to each one of them, you can get a payout. We also offer automatic savings protection and a certain insurance benefit for all members. So regardless If you have a certain amount of savings in your account and you pass away, your beneficiary will get a little bonus. So those are some of the things that our members enjoy, but to each his own, right? And that is the nature of competition is, what's for some may not be for others. It's for you to sort of have a look and see if the credit union services meet your needs.
Real quick question. I'm not sure if did you I know you mentioned insurance and different loans. I know Charles H. Jefferson II, he's asking specifically for home loans. Did you specify which kind of loans?
So currently we offer personal loans. The maximum loan that we can currently offer is up to $100,000. As the credit union grows, we hope to expand into mortgages and larger loan amounts. But the nature of a cooperative and as a credit union, we have our own financial standards that we have to meet as well. And although we've been around for 52 years, we still have some growing to do, right? And so now that we've just opened up to the general public, it's going to take some time for us to organically grow to the point where we can expand our services, right? So it's something that's on the radar that we'd like to be able to offer in the future. But for now, we'd encourage your members to grow with us.
Indeed. Thank you for that, Ryan. I'll go to the audience in a few. Don't go anywhere else. But no organization or business or industry is without challenges. What are some of the challenges that the credit union actually faces to be able to deliver for the community?
Well, I think some of our challenges are those that will be shared by some of the other financial institutions, right? Is you have to cater to a wide spectrum of customers, in our case, members, right? So one of the things I was talking about in a recent interview was, as a not-for-profit institution, the credit union has to constantly try and find a balance between keeping up, right, with the needs of the Bermudian market. And we know our people, right? We want cutting edge, we want first class, we want whatever, the most developed countries in the world and technologies have. But at the same time, we have people in our community that are homeless. We have people that can't read or write. We have people that don't have access to email or basic services taken care of too. So we have a small staff of 9. And with that, we're servicing 6,000 and growing members. And we have to make sure that we're taking care of everybody with the same respect. And so one of the things, particularly as it relates to us as a credit union, because we're a cooperative, we're democratically controlled. As we know, Jamal, in any organization where there's democracy, things are going to take a little bit more time because you don't have one shareholder who can dominate and say, I want it my way, and whoever doesn't like it, deal with it, right? We aim to come to decisions that are based off of collaboration and community. I think that that's more sustainable. It means that we're positioning ourselves to grow organically and have that strong community. But at the same time, things take a bit longer, right? So when it comes to technology, when it comes to making decisions, it takes a little bit longer because of the fact that we have to make sure everybody is carried along with us.
Got you. Yeah, indeed. Let's go to the audience. I got a few questions here. Mark Arthur C. Phillips is asking, good morning, Mr. Perinchief. Has the AGM been announced as of yet?
Good morning, Mr. Phillips. No, it hasn't been announced. We haven't announced our next annual general meeting yet. But if your membership details and your personal information is up to date in our system, you will get a notification from us when the time comes.
All righty. Nicole Walker's asking, does the credit union have any plans to implement some type of e-card that allows members to use their funds electronically versus having to go in, make cash withdrawals for day-to-day expenses?
ATMs and debit cards are on the radar. It's something we would like to implement. We're looking in terms of the operation and the office setup and the technology to see what the timeline might be for that to be possible. In the meantime, yes, you can make deposits and withdrawals over the counter, but we also have online banking. If you need to get those funds to another local bank or financial institution, you can log on and make that transfer.
All righty. And so I think you might have asked, is there online banking? Is it feasible to use the credit union as your primary bank at this point?
Yes, we do have online banking. You can send and receive funds between your credit union account. You can send online to other credit union members. You can send to other local banks. The challenge you may have is, as we just saw, we don't have ATM cards as of yet. So if you need to take out cash and you don't have another financial institution, then you have to come to the credit union and withdraw over the counter. Other than that, the aim of the credit union is to become a financial institution of choice for all persons living and working in Bermuda. And so with that being said, continue to grow with us as we expand those services. But there are persons that do use the credit union as their primary institution, and they'll say, I only want to save and borrow from the credit union. I support you guys. I'm investing in the future, and this is my commitment. But, it depends on whether it meets your day-to-day needs, right?
Right. Charles H. Jefferson asking, are the rates competitive? Are they published, and how often do they change? Speaking about the savings interest, I believe.
Sure. So for savings, we do offer fixed term deposits, which is when you can take a lump sum of cash upfront, and you can say, I want to deposit this with you for 5 years. You will get a competitive interest rate on that. It'll go up depending on how much you save and how long you save. We also offer savings accounts. So the gift to myself account offers interest, and the rate is 0.5% per year, again, with no fees. In terms of loans, we offer a variety of different loans products, and you can look on our website and learn more information about them.
All right. And I was just going to ask you, how can those interested, and be careful because this audience will call soon as the show is over, but how can those interested in joining the credit union get started today?
Yeah, so the interesting thing is, because we recently opened up and expanded the membership, we also just partnered with the BEDC around Cooperatives Week and International Credit Union Day. There's a very high demand for persons that are looking for alternatives. And so there's a lot of people that are lining up to become members of the credit union. So we've actually had to implement an appointment system. So if you go on our website at bcu.bm, you can book an appointment to become a member, and you can come in and speak with us. There's also a tab on the website that says membership, and it's going to tell you everything you need to join.
Indeed. Thank you for that. A question from Charles H. Jefferson II. He's asking, does the credit union offer services to convicted criminals?
So yeah, that's interesting because, Jamal, you were talking earlier about the throne speech, and part of the Premier's commitment was to enact legislation that will require all banks or financial institutions to provide everyone with a basic level of service. One of the good things and something we pride ourselves on at the credit union is, because we're finance meets community, we don't discriminate. So we have, all sorts of walks of life of persons that are members of our credit union. We believe that everybody, regardless of your history or your background, deserves to have basic access to financial services. And so even before we opened up to all of Bermuda, one of our key principles in terms of how we run the credit union is we exist also to take care of those who are traditionally excluded from society. So yes, that does include persons who have been incarcerated. It includes persons who have been homeless, all sorts of walks of life. We try to accommodate, because we do believe that everybody needs to be able to have a basic bank account and be able to save and be able to have somewhere to store their cash safely. And I think you'll find that from our staff, from my team and colleagues, and from the experience of other members, that we do seek to take care of them.
Gotcha. We've got Steve Reynolds asking, does the credit union have plans to implement/utilize CBDC's services?
So when we talk about digital services, I guess I would have to ask the member what they're talking about specifically. We're working on ATM machines. We have online banking currently. In terms of digital currency and things like that, I would say that's a bit of a ways off. It's something we'd have to consider. But in terms of the credit union's plans, that is determined by the members. Obviously, at the staff level, we're always looking to see how we can innovate and grow the credit union. But we also take direction from the general members. So when we have our annual general meetings and things like that, it's for the members to decide where they want us to focus our priorities.
All righty. Nicole Hassel says the credit union is a great service for small loans and savings. I've been a member for 3 years and was surprised I received dividends at the end of the year.
Thank you, Ms. Hassel.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Right. I mean, I guess my final question is very simple. How can we, in our role, as a part of a voice in the community, ensure that people understand that the credit union is a viable option and in their best interests? What can we do?
Yeah, I think we have to advocate and educate, right? for a long time, right? So we've been around since 1972. The credit union was only targeted or open to a segment of the Bermuda population, right? Which was persons who were connected with the unions. Thankfully, the union and the members decided that the credit union actually has the potential to be a lot bigger, and it has the capability to grow into an institution that can take care of the entire Bermuda community and actually be Bermuda's quote unquote bank, right? We're not a bank, but we can be that entity that takes care of the community in terms of their financial needs. So I would just say, you know, whether you're a member or not, learn about us, you know, discover what membership means and that responsibility, with the understanding that if the credit union succeeds, the community succeeds, because we're here to take care of the community. Our primary interest is not profit, it's service and value to our members and the community. So if our membership has the potential to encompass all of Bermuda, then naturally, if all of Bermuda are members, and our goal exists to serve the members, then we exist to serve Bermuda. So when you're talking to your local MPs, when you're thinking about government policy, when you're discussing on the job about, you know, what organizations you want to support, if the credit union is supported and if the credit union grows, then the entire community grows, because that's what we exist to do, is to empower the community financially. So I would just ask the public to keep that in mind. You know, if we want Bermuda to have an institution that can take care of our financial needs, where we can save and borrow and let it be something that's earned and authentically Bermudian, then the Bermuda Credit Union is that place. I would just ask that you grow with us, right? Because if we grow together, then we can eventually reach that point and that vision that we have, which is to be the financial institution of choice for all persons living and working in Bermuda.
Indeed. One last question from the audience. Charles A. Chefs II. He's asking, what amount do we need to deposit to open an account?
So you're going to need $57 in cash. So $50 is going to be your permanent ownership share, right? Because I mentioned that every member is a shareholder. So that $50 is what stays with us for the duration of your membership. And then in addition to that, you're going to have a $5 minimum savings balance in your account, and then a $2 account opening registration fee. So that adds up to $57 that you will bring when you come for your appointment to open your account.
Yeah, I want to end it with this comment by Shamari Talbot Ulrich, because I think this sums up my thought exactly. He said, many people talk about Bermuda not owning its own bank. We do own our own bank. We just haven't invested in it. Ryan, thank you so much for this conversation. I think it's important that we keep this going. Maybe just having a conversation specifically about the fixed term deposits, maybe like just walking through the process of opening an account, speaking about, you know, just how it differs and its true benefits. But I'm grateful that you've made time for us to have this conversation. And audience, when you reach out and you have your meeting, go there and let them know why you opened this account. Let them know Ryan said this on the Daily Hour and it piqued my interest, and here I am. Because I know we had a CEO of another bank on one time, and he reached out and he said, man, people were blowing up the phones right away. This is your community bank. I hope that we get that same thing and that the appointment book is full through January. All right, Ryan, thank you so much. And don't be a stranger, brother.
I'm here, and I'm here to answer any questions. And I want to thank you for inviting me on the show and giving the credit union a chance to sort of showcase what we have to offer. So to the general public and to your listeners on the Daily Hour, I want to say thank you for the time. As the sign in our banking hall says, the credit union is not a bank, but it is banking on progress. Grow with us. So we are experiencing a high volume of persons that want to become members. Have a look at the site. It may take some time before you're able to come in and meet with us, just because we're dealing with that influx. But we do hope to see you soon. And we're confident that when you do join and become a member, you'll feel like you're taken care of by us and our all Bermudian team, our small but dedicated and experienced staff, and our membership community, where we're all owners of this institution. So as Shamari said, this is the Bermuda financial institution. And we're looking forward to growing and serving to take care of all of Bermuda at some point. So I want to thank you, Jamal, for the opportunity. And visit our website at bcu.bm, and you can learn a bit more about our products and services.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much, and we'll be in touch. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. You too.
All right, Ryan Robinson-Perinchief, Chief Executive Officer of the Bermuda Credit Union. Folks, if you appreciated today's conversation, do us that big favor we ask every day. Give us a like, love, follow, share this conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. You all have not been happy about your banking options in Bermuda. This morning, you got a reminder that you have another option, and it's yours. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes, 41 seconds. And when we come back, one of you will have an opportunity to win this week's prize. Stick with us.
All right. Who was the first woman to become not just the first female opposition leader in Bermuda, but throughout the entire British Commonwealth?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans.
Hey, buddy. Hun, who was the first woman to serve as opposition leader, not just in Bermuda, but throughout the entire British Commonwealth?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans.
Mason, what did you say?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans.
Dame Lewis Brown Evans? Where do you find that?
Mommy playing Bermuda Trivia.
Mommy playing Bermuda Trivia.
Oh, honey, I'm so proud of you. Good job.
It's true. Children are a reflection of their environment. Bermuda's favorite trivia game, fun with a purpose. To educate, to entertain, to inform, to inspire, to learn, and to enjoy. Bermuda Trivia, all volumes now available at various stores throughout Bermuda. Visit bermudatrivia.com to learn more and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms.
Live exceptionally with HSBC MasterCard Pay with Rewards. Transform your points into what you love and get closer to winning an unforgettable trip to Dubai or one of 3 luxury experiences in Bermuda. To start following these steps, download the Pay and Rewards app from the App Store or Google Play. Register your HSBC MasterCard credit card in the app. Set your preferences to use points automatically or for your next purchase. Use your HSBC MasterCard for every purchase and redeem your points into rewards. In addition, for every $300 spent with your HSBC MasterCard, earn a chance to win an incredible monthly experience. Terms and conditions apply. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Pair with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear. You can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
All right, welcome back to the Big Show. Thanks again to Ryan Robinson-Perinchief, Chief Executive Officer of the Bermuda Credit Union. Folks, see it down bottom. Visit bcu.bm for more information. If you're interested in becoming a member, check them out. All right, it's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by, well, thanks again to the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring we can have conversations like that on a regular basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, from this point till the end of the year, it is holiday trivia time. All right, the first person to answer this correctly goes into this week's draw, which will take place on Wednesday. We are only doing live shows Monday through Wednesday this week. All right, here we go. First person to show up with the correct answer on my screen. What Christmas song contains the line, quote, "making spirits bright," end quote? All right, the first one that came up on my screen was Michelle Dawes. Everyone got it, but Michelle Dawes was the first one to show up. Nicole Hassel got it as well. Stacey Ann Brown got it. Not we wish you Merry Christmas. Anika the Shields, Nicole Walker got it. Not have yourself Merry Christmas, Mark Arthur C. Phillips. So Michelle Doors, you will be the first name into our draw, which will take place on Wednesday. Congratulations to you. Let's put your name there. Congratulations. All right. So folks, as we head out, I want to say this. Look, whether it's your cell phone company, utilities, banking, customer service is something I think we all value. But I like what Ryan Robinson-Perinchief said, keeping things in context. Because of the cost of doing business in Bermuda, it's a challenge. It's a challenge having people in those spaces. And then the challenge of having local people in particular. But something has to be done. This is impacting people's way of living, running a business, especially small businesses. I don't know what the solution is. Could it be moving over to a credit union? I don't know. What I do know, and I'm going to echo and repeat what Shamari Talbot-Ulrich said. We have a bank. We just need to invest in it. It's like our bodies. We all have one. Invest in it. We only have one. Give ourselves an opportunity to determine our economic destiny. I'm not telling you leave the banks you're with. I'm just saying, consider the other option that's available to us. It may be the one that changes our fortunes as individuals and as a community. I'm grateful to Ryan Robinson-Perinchief for coming on and educating us, and there's so much more to discuss. I guess the question for me is, for those who aren't with the credit union or not considering, why not? I know I'm going to be trying to set up my appointment immediately following this show. I've got some daily inspiration for you. Quote, as long as poverty, injustice, and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly rest, end quote. That's from Nelson Mandela. Folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we can do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. If you haven't already, please just do us one favor. Give us a like, love, share it. Make sure you are following us on all of our platforms. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great Monday. I'll see you tomorrow. We're out. Peace.